Hey NBA fans, get ready for a slam dunk of surprising and mind-blowing NBA rules you never knew existed. Prepare yourself to laugh harder than Shaq breaking backboards. From weight clauses in contracts to disaster drafts for the ultimate team meltdown, the NBA has rules for every scenario, and it's like they're run by comedians. First up, picture this. Shaq is dunking so hard that he's breaking hoops and putting everyone's safety at risk. Whoa, Shaq, you're literally a one-man demolition crew. But fear not, the NBA had to step in with the no-shatter rule. If Shaq breaks the backboard, he gets a technical foul, and the point doesn't count. Good job, Shaq. You changed the game forever. Now let's talk about our boy Zion Williamson, the hulking beast of a player. I mean, he's got the skills, but he also packed on some pounds. So the Pelicans gave him a juicy contract with one tiny little clause. Stay under 295 pounds or fork over millions. Talk about getting paid to stay in shape, Zion. Better watch those snacks, man. Hold on to your courtside seats, folks, because things are about to get wilder than a Charles Barkley rant. Back in the day, the Minneapolis Lakers had a near-death experience during a flight. Miraculously, everyone survived, but the NBA had to scratch their heads and wonder what if a whole team went down. And voila, the disaster draft was born. If over 5 players die on a team, an emergency draft fills their roster. I'm telling you, the NBA has rules for everything, even team calamities. But wait, it's not all serious business in the NBA. We got some laughs, too. Remember Dwight Howard, the greatest farter in the league? Yeah, he was dropping bombs on the court. Yeah, you heard that right. In the late 2000s, Dwight dropped bombs on the court that had nothing to do with basketball. His farting antics had players running for cover. I mean, come on, Dwight. Were you trying to gas out your opponents or something? It's good that the Orlando Magic decided to lay down the law with the no flatulence policy during team activities. Can you imagine the meetings discussing this one? Guys, we need to address the farting situation ASAP. But hold your nose, folks, because our next rule is even more absurd. Yo mama jokes. The age-old playground insults made their way into the NBA trash talk scene. Meet Don Knobler, the Maverick superfan and yo mama joke enthusiast. Oh, Don, you had it coming when you decided to unleash a yo mama joke on none other than Patrick Beverley. Let's say it didn't sit too well with Pat. Can't blame him, though. Yo mama jokes are the nuclear option of insults. The fallout was epic, and the NBA had no choice but to step in and say, enough is enough. They banned yo mama jokes faster than a Steph Curry three-pointer. And here's the kicker. They actually made it a rule. That's right, folks. Cracking a yo mama joke at an NBA game can get you kicked out of the arena. I guess the league wasn't ready for the ultimate showdown of words. Let's be honest, it's all good fun, right? I mean, we're talking about the NBA, where players trash talk to each other all the time. But nope, yo mama jokes were deemed too savage to handle. Moving on, let's talk about referees. It's common knowledge that you can't just laugh at them, right? I mean, it's a basketball game, not a comedy show. But back in 2007, poor Tim Duncan found this out the hard way. He was just sitting on the bench minding his own business when, boom, a technical foul for laughing at the ref. Talk about getting caught off guard. And the comedy didn't stop there, folks. A few minutes later, a teeny tiny giggle got Tim Duncan ejected from the game. I guess the ref's skin was thinner than a wafer-thin mint. The ref, let's call him Mr. Egghead, probably thought Duncan's laughter was showing him up. So he went all Hulk mode and ejected him faster than a rocket-propelled basketball. Impressive. But wait, there's more. Apparently, you can't even look at a ref without risking a technical foul. What's next? Blink at them and you'll get tossed out too? Come on, NBA. Let's keep the game fun and lively, right? Now let's talk about the wild and colorful Dennis Rodman. The man knows how to stand out both on and off the court. In 2000, during his Maverick days, he wanted the number 69 on his jersey, and team owner Mark Cuban was cool with it. But oh boy, the NBA wasn't too pleased. Can't have players making jokes with their numbers, I suppose. So what did Dennis do? He went all out and ordered a whopping 10,000 jerseys with the number 69 plastered on them. Talk about commitment. But alas, the NBA caught wind of it and put it to a vote. And surprise, surprise, the league decided to ban number 69. Poor Dennis had to settle for the number 70. Hey, still a high number, right? The spotlight shifts to Caron Butler, the straw-chewing legend of the NBA. Who needs gum when you can chew on straws like a boss? This dude was so obsessed with straws that he could give McDonald's and Burger King a run for their money. Picture him with a handful of straws, like it's no big deal. Hey, Karan, how many straws can you chew during a game? Just about 12, no biggie. The man could probably go through 6 of those plastic chewy sticks in the first half alone. I mean, really, who comes up with this stuff? But you know what they say, too much of a good thing can be a choking hazard. The NBA was getting a bit worried that Karan might end up swallowing a straw mid-game, and that's not the kind of highlight reel anyone wants to see. So they had to create the legendary no-straw rule, officially banning players from chewing straws during games. I guess they had to protect him from himself because straws in NBA courts don't mix, apparently. Moving on, we have Darius Bazley, the rule breaker extraordinaire. The guy was about to dunk it when the game was already in the bag, and that's a big no-no in the unwritten rulebook of NBA players. You've got to dribble the clock out and not score or risk the wrath of the basketball gods. Russell Westbrook, in all his glory, had to step in and put Darius in his place. The drama, the intensity, it's like a soap opera on the court, and we're here for it. But hey, it's not just the players making up their own rules. They were going all out on Twitter, too. Twitter and NBA players were like peanut butter and jelly, inseparable. You had Shaq announcing his farts. Yeah, you heard that right. Katie making threats, and some even tweeting during their own games. Oh boy, I can only imagine the chaos. So the NBA decided enough is enough and brought in the infamous Twitter rule. No more tweeting during workouts, and they can even slap players with hefty fines for offensive tweets. Talk about a digital slap on the wrist. Our attention now turns to the legendary Hawks vs. Rockets game back in 2016. It was all good until Paul Millsap stepped up to the free throw line. But wait, there's a twist. Millsap spots something fishy with the ball. It's sticky. And no, we're not talking about some regular ball sweat here. Someone actually sprayed the ball with a weird sticky substance called stickum. Who does that? Players these days, I tell you. Of course, this little stunt was not just gross, but also a big no-no according to NBA rules. Tampering with the basketball in any way is strictly prohibited. So, who was the ball glue culprit? Drum roll, please. It was none other than Dwight Howard. Yep, Superman himself got caught with his hands in the sticky cookie jar. Twitter went wild, trying to cancel Dwight for cheating, but he had to defend himself. According to him, he's never had to resort to illegal tactics to win. Well, we'll just leave that sticky situation behind and move on. But folks, the ball stories don't end there. Brace yourselves for this revelation. In the NBA, touching yourself is illegal. Who knew, right? Back in 2004, during the Kings vs. Timberwolves game, Sam Cassell took the term balls to the wall quite literally. He grabbed his, you know what I mean, and that's when the nut-grabbing epidemic began. Players around the league started acting like it was normal to check on their jewels mid-game. It was like a secret handshake, but way more awkward. The NBA had enough of this ball-checking extravaganza and decided to lay down the law in 2010. From then on, any player caught getting too personal with their privates could be slapped with a hefty fine of up to $25,000. Ouch, that's gotta hurt, both physically and financially. But hold up, players seem to have a hard time keeping their hands off their family jewels, even with the threat of a hefty fine. Since the rule was enforced, the NBA has fined players over $200,000 for ball-grabbing shenanigans. Come on, NBA, can't you let them have a little fun? They just want to make sure everything's in place down there, right? So let's talk about Russell Westbrook, the king of hustle, and, well, trolling. In 2022, he had a not-so-great game, and the Kings arena took full advantage of it. Every time he missed a shot, they played a get-off-early song. Ouch, that's some top-notch trolling right there. Seriously, kudos to the Kings DJ for the creativity. But hey, the NBA didn't find it as hilarious as we did. Nope, they weren't cool with the trolling. I guess the NBA doesn't have time for jokes when it comes to gameplay. They had to put their foot down and officially banned it. Sorry, Kings, no more musical roast allowed on the court. Let's switch gears to the three-point wizard Steph Curry. This dude is so good that teams around the league were left scratching their heads, wondering, how the heck does he shoot like that? Well, turns out you gotta practice like Steph to play like him. Teams were so desperate to get a piece of that Curry magic that they started adding 4-point lines to their practice facilities. Yeah, you heard it right, 4-point lines. Imagine the poor ball boys running all over the place chasing those balls. Now, let's talk about a groundbreaking moment in NBA history. Who said women can't play in the NBA? Meet Lucia Harris, a college beast who was ready to take the NBA by storm, but unfortunately, back in 1977, it just wasn't meant to be. The WNBA wasn't around and she had to turn down the offer because she was pregnant. But hey, the NBA recognized her talent and inducted her into the Hall of Fame in 1992. Cheers to you, Lucia. Now, here's a wild ride into the time machine. Back in the 1890s, basketball had some seriously bizarre rules. Picture this. They played with a soccer ball, used fruit baskets instead of nets, and had to fetch the ball with the ladder every time they scored. Plus, the cherry on top, dribbling was illegal. Can you even imagine watching that version of basketball today? It would be a hilarious mess. Thank the basketball gods for rewriting the rules and giving us the game we cherish. And there you have it, NBA fans, the craziest and wackiest NBA rules you never knew existed. I mean, come on, who would have thought that a player's fart or yo mama joke would get you in so much trouble on the court? Now, here's a question for you. Which NBA rule do you find the most hilarious? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I can't wait to see what you think about these absurdities. And before we wrap this up, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more NBA content. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, NBA fans. Keep ballin', keep laughing, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.